Hi, my name is Melanie Bordahl, and today we are going to be doing an interactive read aloud. The book is called Corduroy by Don Freeman, and the first thing I want you to look at is, how do you believe the bear is feeling? And also, can you predict or think about what is going to be in this book? Alright, so we're going to jump right into the reading. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in a toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. So the bear's name is Corduroy. He's in a big store. Like, it could be in Walmart or Target. You never know. The store was filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then, one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much money already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He lost a button to one of his shoulder straps." So how do you think the mother feels about her daughter wanting Corduroy? Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator and he went up. Could this be a mountain, he wondered? "I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain." So how many of you have been on escalators? I know I have. I've been in them in JCPenney's. But they're in a lot of stores that have 2 levels to them or more. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was an amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." So to him, the upstairs is a palace. It's not just the upstairs of the department store. He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed," and he crawled up onto a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up, but like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until, pop, off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Banging into a floor lamp, over it fell with a crash. How much would you say that had to hurt? Even though he's a stuffed animal, they make him feel real. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." So can anyone give me the definition of what exclaimed means? The dictionary definition says, cried out suddenly, especially in surprise, anger, or pain. So I would say the police officer was surprised. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw two fuzzy brown eyes sticking up from under the cover. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" It's these little U's. How do you think Corduroy feels in this picture? I'd say a little bit of frightened, maybe. The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was a small little girl he had seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I have saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. Why do you think Lisa, the little girl, didn't want Corduroy in a box? She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight into her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know, I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." So even though he was a bear that seemed broken, someone still wanted him. You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. Now, with that being the end of the book, I do have 2 remaining questions for you. Do you have a stuffed animal that is your friend? And do you believe that Corduroy found what he was always looking for, and why or why not? Thank you for listening.